So now we're going to be looking at solid object attacks. So we're looking at things like glass bottles, something that's quite heavy here, or solid, something like a bottle, or something small and round. So this could be like a billiard ball, a rock, something small and solid, holding a hand. The way this is used in an attack is similar but quite specific for the weapon itself. Because we're going to have straight attacks and circular attacks again. I'll show with both the different angles. So for example, and I'll move here, with some type of bottle attack here, they've got it in their grip, small bottle, in their hand like so. From here they've got two different angles of attack. They've got circular attacks, bringing it around, and they've also got straight attacks here. Now, I'll show it to the camera how it can be a slightly different picture that you would see against the attack. So something that's circular, there's going to be some wind up here, because just to push the weapon into the face doesn't really have enough velocity. So what happens is here there'll be some wind up on it, and from here, the way it's being held in the palm facing forward. Unlike a punch, which starts to change the picture a little bit of the anatomy of the attacker. So from here, it's going to have a small wind up. Sometimes maybe a big one, but that's more of a telegraph for you. And from here, a circular is coming around to slam and hit them with this action. The action with something solid, with the rock here, is actually closer to a hand slash. So it feels a little bit shallow rather than them coming all the way over and driving through. It's going to feel a bit shallow for the weapon to smash into your head. Solid, small object here is going to feel the same, and it comes around like so. So it's got a slightly different picture compared to with a stab or a punch, slightly. The defense we're going to be doing is kind of going to be a 360 block, but it's going to be a 360 that blends into a slide. Because unlike a knife or a punch, I actually want this weapon attack to slide. Because what happens is here, when someone's attacking here, don't do anything just yet. But when they're slamming it into your head, if she was to do a 360 at this point, here, that would stop the attack. But this object here is going to probably eject from their hand because you are hitting their flexor muscles here. And by hitting that with your forearm may release this object. And if it's a solid object here, it's probably going to slam into your face. So I need to be aware of that. I need to protect my head a little. So what's going to happen here, I'll also show the face, and swap position actually. So what happens is here is I want it to blow, but then I actually want it to slide. And then from here I'm actually going to control, and then I'm back to a similar position with an overwrap control with a side clinch, and I'm into with knee strikes here. And if we go one a bit quicker now, here, out, a wrap, here we go. Now if I just show you the start, this is where the defense is happening, is I am coming out with a 360, because I do need to stop this angle of attack. But my 360 is going to be with my pinky leading to a little bit of my back of palm leading now. So it's a 360 here that's going to be defending somewhere around there. And I don't want it to be a solid defense. I actually want this defense to stop the attack, please, one more. But then I can see immediately I start to turn my thumb out. So as I've done my defense here, my back of palm, my thumb keeps opening and turning out. My palm starts facing upwards. My arm is now got a greater angle opening up. Because I actually want this attacker now to actually slide. I actually don't want to jolt this thing out to come out. I want this thing to slide now, to bleed some of that velocity out. Since it's not a knife, I actually don't care if this solid object starts to come in a bit slower and hit my body. This is now starting to be a much less impact on my body. It's almost negligible. So what happens is here is I want to do my defense, open it out, and I'm going to slide. As soon as I'm in here, this is a very easy thumb down, wrapping this arm here, by the way, on enter. I could come in with a simultaneous strike to a vulnerable point on my enter as well here, or if you just want to get into it here, I could come in and this would be a forearm strike hitting as I'm getting in to do an overhand wrap. This is thumb close and high, squeezing, and there's my side clinch again. Foot off the line, back to knees attacking groin low and high. Similar to the knife, where I will smash this person for destroy, disarm. There's an easy disarm right there. As I hit them, they disarm the weapon themselves, and then I can get rid of this person. Or destroy takedown is where I blast and they go to the ground, and then I can just get rid of them. There's my destroy disarm, destroy takedown. Because this is not as lethal as a knife, I mean, it requires space and velocity to actually cause any danger here. So what happens is here I do have other couple of options what I can do for disarming. So from here, as I'm striking with my controlling arm, I can snake and go into a C grip with my controlling to the wrist. From here, I can start to draw this in, and then from here, heel of my palm to the back of the knuckles here, I can very quickly hit this, press it, and I can control their weapon for disarm if I needed to in here. If you were to do that one, that's done quick, under lots of pain reaction. So if I'm hitting, I can snake, hit, and then I can release quickly. And so the other defense we can do with a hard object is also fast retreating in and away, fast retreating away. So what happens is here, even if I do this 360 here, basically I've got to make sure I have a head defense forward and in a little bit. I don't want to be here doing a normal 360 because of this problem as I've mentioned. So what happens is here, if I'm not going into control, here, when I do my defense, I have my head forward and in a little bit more. You can let it pop out and fly here. It's just in case I want this thing to miss my head if it was to pop out. And then what I've got like fast retreating in. And so basically here, I can be moving in and away. But fast retreating away, where I might do something like here. And you can see I've done a step off the line to kick. And then I'm going to be moving off the line. All right, now we're going to be looking at a solid object. So again, we're going to be looking at the front, but now we're going to be looking at it straight. So looking at the camera here. Now it's a slightly awkward angle for being straight. It's not quite like a straight stab or a punch. Here, it's actually closer to an overhand right in its angle and picture. Because if you can see it towards the camera, to get it straight, you're usually going to have a bit more wind up. You can see the palm is facing out because it's holding the object. Here, and then it comes in a straight line. You can come in a straight line with the elbow behind it, or it can also come in with the elbow a little bit lower, and the object's still making a straight line. Slightly awkward angle, same with something that's a bit smaller. So in the palm here. Here, you can see it's much more of a straighter angle, but it comes at a slight awkward angle here. This is a little bit difficult in the angle, but our defenses are nothing new, it's just applying the right one to your reaction. So for example, I'll mix it up and now we'll use more like something solid, like a rock. Here, what happens is here, now it kind of depends on the angle. If Sally's a little bit off the angle on me, if she's directly in front of me, this will slightly change exactly how I'll defend this, and also where my hands are in relation to this attack. If my guard is here and she's in front, she's driving a straight line here, very easy for me, I'm just going to do a normal inside defense here. If it's slightly off angle, maybe she winds up a little bit more to the out, or my hands maybe a little bit more in, she does that here, it's now going to be an outside defense versus straight, like the windscreen wiper defense. Probably leading with the back of the palm because I do want some reach here from here, and you can see I have a big head defense away. If I was to do the inside defense, I have a big head defense away from the inside defense. I don't want to get lazy here because the thing could still pop out on contact. So I'm going to make sure I'm protecting my head just in case it comes out. Now from here we've got fast retreating as well. So basically if I'm coming in here and she's doing straight here, I've got hitting and moving. So that's for fast retreat in. That's going to the dead side. I've also got going to the live side if I was kind of doing an outside defense going away. And if I was ever in the live side, because I'm using the lead hand, here, I could still go to the live side fast retreating in and away. And with the lead hand, it's definitely going to be an inside defense going to the live side, and then I can rake back my hand on maybe a straight move. I have got other options here that I can work with. From here, I could go here, hit, and if I've got her back a little bit more, I can start to go into headlocks here and into rear nakeds as well. And I've also got controlling. Now for the controlling, dead side is easier, and you have slightly different things you can try here. So I will show you one here. We've got one that's similar to straight knife stabs, where if I do it here, stab here, and then I come in on the arm, like so. And if I do this slowly, I'll change the angle here. Well, and then I'm going to influence it down here, and I'm going to do my under wrap over, hooking, pulling, and then I've got the same position from before we had this one with knives. I've also got, where I got my inside defense, what I'm going to do is a gooseneck catch, where I catch and I hit. And with this one here, we don't have this one very often, but that's a C grip to the wrist. I've dropped my elbow and I'm pressing with my forearm, elbow into their body here. And on the way in, here as I'm starting to catch, there's a hit. And from here, I can mirror catch. Sorry, catch her hand, mirroring it here. And from here, I've got headbutts, I've got knees. From here, I can do disarms. From here, I just come up, heel of palm, I press down, and I can come and control the object. I've also got from here, I can disarm with strikes. There's an elbow strike to the back of the hand. I've also got hitting. If I bring it back into camera shot, here, hitting. I can also lift this up and smash this into their own face, by the way. And at any point here that I feel like I'm losing this thing here, I can just clinch and wrap, hitting, and I don't really care how. There's all different ways of catching this arm. As long as you can control this arm, I don't have to worry about this too much. This is a lot less of a worry. This is not a knife. And if it's ever live side control is always much harder because I am losing angle and distance on it. So from here, if I was to come in, I'm going to try and catch the back of the arm here, and basically I'm just smothering it as best as I can. So there's different ways of catching this on the dead side. Here at the end of the day, don't worry too much how you do it. There's different ways of catching it. Although you have got your straight knife stab with influence like oriental or under wrap catching will feel very similar to what we usually do.